These are the depths of the Mediterranean Sea. Here, where the sunlight is not able to penetrate and the sounds fade under the water's weight, the miracle that produces a treasure that's unique in the world happens. Bottles found in sunken ships have shown that the sea offers exceptional conditions for the wine's evolution. The lack of light and noise, the pressure, the constant temperature, and the sea currents give the wines that are refined in the sea bottom some unique qualities and nuances that are very hard to find in conventional wines. But until a few years ago, the only examples were a result of pure chance. The most recent case took place in 2010. A diving expedition in the archipelago of Åland found by chance a wrecked ship that, at first sight, didn't show any hints of its origins or its period of construction. The scuba divers found some champagne bottles in which seems to be the captain's cabin. They celebrated their discovery tasting one of them, without even imagining that it was a Veuve Clicquot 1840, which would be later on the most expensive champagne in the world. The other bottles were auctioned in Europe and the United States and reached $50,000 per unit, not only because the discovery was unusual, but also because it was thought at the time that they could have been a part of the shipment sent by Louis XVI of France to the Russian Empress Catherine the Great. The wine had such a quality that even the French Maison wanted to reproduce the conditions that had created that wonder by introducing in the Baltic Sea a selection of their best vintages and creating a private wine cellar. Odds wanted in that case that those bottles were filled with champagne, because if they had been filled with a non-sparkly wine, they would probably have been found empty. The pressure found underwater, 1 atmosphere every 10 meters deep, would have caused the sinking of the corks and the disapparition of the wine, but a bottle of champagne, which has a pressure that ranges from 4 to 6 atmospheres inside of them, compensates the pressure of the water above it, which pushes the caps. That is why supervised trials were needed to see what would happen with non-carbonated wines. The first experiences accomplished by Vina took place in 2011. Many trials were needed to find the best method of elaboration out, and, above all, to know which conditions were needed to get to the dreamed about wine. It all begins with the preparation of the bottles, an unavoidable, necessary process. Every single one of them is manually sealed twice with a synthetic special seal that avoids the sinking of a cork caused by the pressure. Then they are carefully introduced in cages made of marine steel, material made of a specific composition that not only delays the effects of the saltpeter on the metal, but also is eco-friendly and avoids water pollution. These cages are then transported by crane vessels from the port to the place where our submarine wine cellars are, to be placed in the sea bottom by our professional divers. We didn't choose the location at random either. About 2 miles away from the coast of Calpe in the province of Alicante, and almost 30 meters deep, a marine mound chain that offers different platforms with different depths is found. After a long administrative process, Minamaris got the necessary permits given by the Ministry of Environment, Rural and Marine Affairs for its use. In fact, the introduction of these structures into the sea is beneficial for some species of the marine fauna, since they use them as artificial reefs to develop their life cycle. These coasts are the same that bordered thousands of years ago the Phoenician ship that introduced the cultivation of the vine in the Iberian Peninsula. Under the shade of the Efach crag, our wines rest for 4 months minimum, which turns them into a unique, exclusive product. The analyses that have been carried out until now have been sensorial only. Some of the best wine testers and sommeliers of Spain have verified that those wines are much more evolved, complex and elegant than the ones that age out of the water, with exceptional hints. There are even people who dare assuring that 3 months of ripeness underwater is equal to 6 or 7 years of evolution on land. The result is a wine with an intense ruby color and a predominance of minerality and fruit in its aroma. It presents a fantastic balance between its body and its alcohol content, with a solid, fleshy core and smooth and elegant on the palate. As a matter of fact, the prestigious magazine Gourmet has placed it on the top 20 of the best Spanish wines this year, and it is present in the menus of some of the best restaurants, like Diverso, which has 3 Michelin stars. Other than Vinamaris Monastro, our wine cellars currently produce a white wine, which is produced from a Chardonnay grape. Just like the red one, it is a wine that has mineral hints, harmonious and distinguished. They both are covered by the designation of origins of wines of Alicante. Our production is limited and exclusive, which turns our wines into not only a gift for the palates of the most demanding, but also into a precious collector's item, a treasure that comes from the sea.